May the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be acceptable to God, who is our rock and our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. A number of years ago, I attended a leadership conference where the guest speaker was the former moderator of the United Church, the very Reverend Dr. Peter Short. And as he talked to that group of mostly clergy, he challenged them to think about their faith statement, what it was that they believed. What gets us excited and nurtured and keeps us going as we walk through faith, our journey of faith. And it's not what the church itself believed or the congregation that we serve believe, but what was it that we believed? And if we could write it down in 2 sentences and make it simple enough for a child to understand. Well, we all got thinking and writing and reflecting, and the room suddenly got pretty quiet as people wrote down their own personal statement of faith. And some people found it very easy and wrote the 2 sentences very quickly, while others took a long time to craft the words and really do some heart searching to figure out what it was that they believed. What it did for those who gathered was 2 things. First, it got us to reflect on what we believe. And second, it had invited us to think about why we believe. And in this time of the Easter season, after Easter, the season in the church where we read about the experiences of Jesus' followers and their encounters with the risen Christ, I can't help but wonder what the disciples would have said if they had been issued that same invitation that Peter Short gave. What might those first followers of Jesus have said if they were able to make a statement of faith about what they believe? We are told in John's Gospel that this was the 3rd time that Jesus had appeared to his disciples, and they were becoming more familiar with Jesus his presence being among them. So much so that they no longer asked, "Who are you?" because they knew who it was. It was Jesus Christ, their Lord, and that is in itself what they have come to believe. So let us take a moment and imagine what each disciple might have said. Would Nathanael or James or John, the sons of Zebedee, the fisherman who helped to cast the nets on the other side of the boat, proclaim, "We believe in God's abundance and grace, and we will go to the world to feed God's people"? Would Andrew, after witnessing so many healings that Jesus did, cry out, "I know the healing power of Jesus Christ, and I will go into the world to heal in his name"? Would Mary, sister of Martha, would Mary's statement of faith be, "I listen and learn and grow at the feet of Christ, and I will live my faith as I study his word"? While Martha might be, "In work and in play, in all I accomplish, I do it for the glory of God." While they might have been together for a great deal of time, each of the disciples had a different experience of Christ. During Jesus' life and in his death and in his resurrection, they each encountered him in different ways. Understood who he was because of what they had witnessed or the experience they had of him. Each follower had their own personal relationship with Jesus, and out of that would be what they were able to say. "This is what I have come to experience and know and trust to be true. This is what I believe." In the same way, we too are invited to take what we have experienced, what we have come to know firsthand, and what we have come to understand about God and Jesus, and claim it for ourselves. We are invited to reflect on who Jesus is in our lives, on how we experience God, and claim the faith that we have come to believe. The church throughout the ages has written and professed creeds in an attempt to better understand our faith and find common ground in that. We have come to write out and recite words of faith that help us to articulate what we believe. Historically, it was the Nicene Creed, and then the Apostles' Creed, and more recently, our new creed, our creed that we recite on many occasions as we gather. We are not alone. We live in God's world. We believe in God who has created and is creating, who has come in Jesus, the Word made flesh, to reconcile and make new, who works in us and others by the Spirit. We trust in God. We are called to be the church, to celebrate God's presence, to live with respect in creation, to love and serve others, to seek justice and resist evil, to proclaim Jesus crucified and risen, our judge and our hope. In life, in death, and in life beyond death, God is with us. We are not alone. Thanks be to God. These creeds, these statements of faith have helped to shape the church and its members for many years. But this morning, I challenge you, as Peter Short challenged me, to think and to pray and to try to articulate what it is that you believe. Not what the church believes. What is your statement of faith? What is it through the experiences that you've had of God, through your relationship with Jesus Christ, through your interactions in the world, that you have come to believe? What excites you and nurtures you and keeps you walking on this journey of faith? For me, it was the love and the acceptance of that I experienced through the church community as a child and a youth and an adult, through God and through the people, that has inspired me to share the good news of God's love and God's acceptance. And my statement of faith that I wrote those many years ago is one that I continue to hold in my heart. I believe in the gracious God revealed to me in Jesus Christ, and my call is to help people to know, to help people to come and experience God's love for them, to follow the way of Jesus and to be in a community that is accepting and loving towards one another, within the church, within our neighborhood, town, and country. And more simply put, through the church I have come to know God's love for me, and I go out to share with others so that they come to know God's love for them. So what about you? How have you come to believe what you believe? How does your belief shape your actions? And what is your statement of faith? Perhaps you will write it down or sing it or express it through music. You might pray it or proclaim it or share it with a friend, and you might speak it to your child each day. I invite you to take some time, intentional time, and discover for yourself what it is that you believe. And may God bless you as you proclaim your faith in your words and in your actions. May it be so. Amen.